I am Eleazar. As a very intelligent man once wrote, it was the best of times and the worst of times. And perhaps that was true then, as it is now, in the perspectives of many of you, if you choose or care to see reality in this way, the world or the state of the world, through your eyes and understanding. Perhaps the people of this planet felt this way 10, 100, or 1,000 years ago. Perhaps you feel that, no, things are worse than ever. Never have we had such boundaries, such lines crossed, such miscommunication, these skirmishes and battles over God, love, and all the rest in between. More poverty, more malnourishment of the body, mind, and spirit, more people fighting at odds over this and that. The list goes on and on. But people felt this way a decade or a century ago, and even longer than that. But how is it the best of times? Is that an important way to see things? Could you say this is the best of times so far on the planet? Well, it depends on what you mean by the best. Let us say there is this rug that you are sitting on, or any rug for that matter. Though it may seem very clean to you, and comfortable and soft, and perhaps you would wish to lay your head upon it for a nap. And then let us say you begin to shake the rug out, and all of that which has been buried deep within the fibers of the fabric, such as the fabric of your society, then gets shaken out. What would you rather have? To sleep peacefully, blissfully in your innocent ignorance of that which is buried beneath you? Or would you rather take the time to have it shaken out and to allow fresh air, or to simply deal with what is? Then, as you begin to change the situation as to your liking and to the agreements between you as to what is comfortable for all and what seems to make sense to all, wouldn't you rather have that? And if that is the case, then which is the best? Which is the most ideal situation? To sleep peacefully and ignorantly, or to see what dust is in the carpet, and then to allow fresh air and to take the right course of action according to yourselves? We offer you notes. These are notes that perhaps you are recording with your devices here, or you are taking them as notes of music. These are the universal truths, perhaps, as you call them. We see them as reality, understanding, and the construction of your ideas as new realities. And that is what is occurring always. Whether you are born with a particular inclination for a particular skill or talent that you perhaps seem to be gifted in by others in your community, you still must practice, mustn't you? You must then find a way for yourself to be expressed through the process of you. What is this process of you? You see, everything is you. What do you mean? The world revolves around you. contrary to what your parents have taught you. Think about it. For wherever you go, there you are. For wherever you go, your reality is about your reaction to your surroundings. It is your internal world. That is the only thing that seems to matter, even when your external world, as you call it, seems to be pleasant or unpleasant. Therefore, your inner world will react accordingly. And so ultimately, it is only about how you feel. That is why we say everything is you. It is about you. If you can sense it in any one of your physical senses or your non-physical senses, it is for you. Meaning it is, therefore, for your evolution. If you approach your life as your evolution, your surrender to your greater self, notice that as you go along in life, you perhaps may feel that you are growing. And yet, as you are perceiving this growth, you are surrendering to and letting go of your fears, your insecurities, your doubts, your traumas. In essence, you are surrendering to what you truly are. And as you surrender to what you truly are, you know yourself more and more. You feel like yourself more and more. And so, that is why the expression is, the more you change, the more you stay the same. That means you are discovering yourself. You are uncovering yourself. What then when you reach a layer that you feel, now this is me? Notice that that lasts for a certain period of time. Then you begin to get an inkling or an urge to experience something else. Perhaps you consider this a rebirth, or, as you say in metaphysics, to move through a portal, to go to the next level, to upgrade as you upgrade your devices here. This wonderful technology represents and mimics that which you have created as your life. Think about it. It has a central processing unit. It has short-term memory and long-term memory. All of its intricate circuitry is powered by what? Energy. Just like you. Even you need to plug in and recharge, don't you? And that brings us to what this planet seems to be concerned with the most right now. And that is energy. From every individual to nation corporations, as we call it. You are interested in great emotional energy, physical energy, for yourselves. Some of you have careers built upon bringing energy to people that is very obvious, and some it is not so obvious. Perhaps you are a writer, perhaps you are creating some sort of product that enriches the person's physical being. And so it is understood then that that is giving them a greater mood and energy, and they are interested in it. You are here gathered together for energy's sake, for fresh energy, for new energy. And you are being brought to your own source, your own spectacular geyser that is consistently and eternally going to sprout up from within you. And so perhaps the voice that you are hearing this evening is your own. You cannot prove it any other way. You cannot prove it is not, and you cannot prove that it is. But perhaps it would behoove you to believe in this oneness. For as we are speaking to you, it is touching a part of you where you know what we are saying. And you can feel what we are saying. And you can understand what we are saying. And yet you yourself have not said it in this way. Perhaps you have created this situation so that you may hear it articulated for you to understand. And my dear friends, that is so with every situation in your life. You have created it so that in articulation for your evolution will speak back to you. You have created every situation in your life so that some articulation of your higher self, your future self, can be heard by you. And it shall get your attention, whether it is a bump on the head or more money in your bank account or less. Something to get your attention. Perhaps to have you laid out sick for a while. Perhaps to send you to some exotic destination. Perhaps to, and perhaps to. It is always for you. It is up to you then to perceive and to receive the information. Part of this process is that you will get dragged into emotional battles, defending yourself or others, proclaiming what you believe in, and the others will do the same. Then there will be conflict. Or then you may stop in the middle of it and then see, I was just about to be pulled into a battle. For what purpose? What will you get out of it? That is up to you. If you need to feel more powerful through this battle, then do it. If you feel something is in danger, then do it. You see, the word God that you use is up to you on how to feel it and how to define it. We offer you a definition. Your God is that which rules you and informs what you do, how you think, and how you're actually living. And here is the conflict. For how you feel day to day reveals what your God is. For if you are mildly aggravated for most of the day, that is your God. Mild aggravation and irritation is your God. You are at the church of it every day, aren't you? You know that church. The wooden seat has conformed to the backside of your body. You know the hymns there, don't you? Oh, I wish they. Why aren't they? Here we go again. That is the hymn of the church of mild irritation. That is the God there. Perhaps fear is your God. Look very closely at how you feel, where you are nervous, where you are judgmental, where you feel others are judging you. That becomes your God. It matters not what religion you say you are. It is how you define what your God is. If your God is love, then you would be feeling it, wouldn't you? Know what church you are in. Be very clear with yourself. It will help you beyond any words that anyone can ever tell you, is to truly know and look at yourself, your life, and see, this has been my God. Perhaps it is worry. Perhaps worry is your God. Perhaps evasiveness is your God. Perhaps victimhood is your God. Perhaps idealism is your God, and that is a very scary one. If only they would, can't they see? All of these energies that you are putting out into the world do not necessarily help you directly with your creation. They help you very indirectly. And that takes quite a bit of time, and we believe that you are tired of waiting, aren't you? And so to enlighten your own self, we offer you this perspective that nothing has ever happened to any of you. Ever. Nothing has ever happened to you. It has happened for you. And you ordered it off of the cosmic menu. And you would say, who would order such a thing? You, that's who. You. In all of your layers, in all of your hiding places, in all of your strategic ways of thinking you shall succeed, you have ordered it. Out of a great love, a love that perhaps you do not feel at the moment, but you are this love. And certain moments bring them out in your life. You are a love so powerful that you ordered things off of the cosmic menu that perhaps would seem terrifying to most, for many of you feel you have experienced things that you would not wish for another person, even one you do not like or love, to experience, as the saying goes. And every one of you can say this. Isn't that interesting? You'll meet someone with no arms, then you'll meet someone with no arms and no legs. And it goes on and on and on, doesn't it? And that is what is happening in your world of technology, as every day you are seeing on your internet more and more unbelievable things, things that seem to be very pleasant and things that seem to be very unpleasant. And as you are scrolling through, you see amazing feat after amazing feat, don't you, every day? A virtuoso doing something or other. A person taking a leap from some great height, moving their body and landing. You are seeing dozens of these videos every day, aren't you? How many have you seen in the past several years? Now they must become quicker and quicker to get to the point. You don't have 15 seconds to see what will happen, do you? Show you immediately. Who has the time or the energy? So we are back to energy. The wars that are happening across the country and across the world are over the energy source. Currently it is oil. And so all sorts of stories shall be made about the people who own the oil. Who owns it? The indigenous people? Or the ones who feel they have rightfully bought it? For that energy is very important to them. They make money from that oil. By the way, that is energy. People turn to drugs for energy. That they pay for with money, which is energy, then which is spent on things that please another person, and that is energy, which then makes them want to earn more, and then that is energy. You are playing with energy, but the root of your discontent is your fighting over the source of the energy, for the sources that you are finding are limited. And so the wars begin. Entire political campaigns are built upon this. In fact, they have you believing that money itself is real. Would it shock you if we told you that money is not real? How is money real? Do you think that when you purchase said device, that a little man runs from one part of the bank with a gold coin and runs over to a little box with your name on it and puts it there? Or do you believe that it is simply numbers on a screen? Little blips saying that now you have more. You do not even use physical money anymore. You use what is called a credit card. That represents money, information being transferred. It is an understanding. The card is swiped. The money is sent. What is sent? Where is money being sent? There is no money. It is simply authorizing, saying there is something. Then this something goes somewhere else, apparently, and is registered as something has arrived. Give them the product. But no substance physically has ever changed hands. So what is money then? It is simply an understanding and a mutual agreement between all of you. That is all. If you believe in physical money, then you would believe that the metal or the paper that it is used to be represented is valuable, and yet the paper is certainly not worth $100 or $1,000 of the bill that is presented. Is that green and white paper worth it? Is it so valuable? Was it extracted from the deepest bowels of the earth? And if it was, why would it then be valuable? Because a lot of energy was used to get it from there, and therefore it is valuable. Make it rare and it will be more valuable. Be original and you will be more valuable. How do you do that? You were born an original. Everything that has happened to you is to help you be more original, to help you trust that within you. And then think of that energy. And because of that energy that you then share with others, they perhaps will give you money, and that will be energy. Another mutual agreement, for there is nothing being given to you. Isn't that interesting? There is no such thing as money. There is only an agreement. And everyone has different perspectives on this agreement, don't they? What is just and what is unjust? Who are those who are the criminals and who are those who are not the criminals? But you believe that the church or some other religious institutions are the holy ones. And then you find out half of the time they are not at all, are they? Or the government, or who it may be. And so the current state of affairs in your country. Would you like us to comment on that for a moment? It matters not whom you voted for. It never has. Not certainly for the past 60 years since Mr. Kennedy was in office. Your good old American voting system was done then, for other forces took over. To be quite literal with you. Is that a doomsday prophecy? Not at all, for it is evolution always, and God is everywhere. You are in a corporation, and there are many forces in this corporation, and your president is a figurehead. He or she has no power whatsoever. And so the one who is entering the office shall have no power whether you deem him worthy or unworthy to be president. Let it be known, he can do nothing without the approval. In fact, there is nothing he thinks of anyway. He is given orders by some gentlemen that you perhaps will never even know about. And that includes Mr. Obama and all of them. They are given orders. They carry them out. Have you seen anything change at all in your own lifetime? Other than things are more expensive. And a few social rules that have changed. So it matters not. We shall first give you the technical reason. For the president has no power. Nothing can be done by he or she without the approval of the higher-ups. And that is how it goes. Leave it alone. For something else is happening, occurring, and brewing that is much more beneficial to you. And that is the unfolding of understanding the divine feminine. For this energy has been stripped of your religions and your philosophies, the honoring of what is the feminine, and it is beyond the gender of you as humans. For the feminine has nothing to do with gender, though it is perceived as gender, certainly physically here. And it is the awakening of this divine feminine energy. And perhaps for an awakening, sometimes you need a rude awakening. And certainly one who fits the bill of that is Mr. Trump. He certainly is a rude awakener, isn't he? His own rudeness has got your attention. What is proper for a man to speak and how to address the feminine has now become a discussion in elementary schools. For all the good men who have spoken about this were not heard very much, were they? Their talks of this did not promote the discussion to happen at all levels, and so it took this type of individual to display that kind of behavior so that we could discuss it. And so the interaction and the communication that he sparks will go through the motions, even of violence. But now the conversation has begun, in earnest. Be thankful for that. It would not have happened with Mrs. Clinton in office. And by the way, they all play for the same team anyway. They are old friends. Do not fool yourselves. They are buddies of the highest order, sitting at the same crap table in the casino, knowing all of the cheating methods, knowing all of the deep pockets, knowing every dark corner, having slithered their way through all of them. It is indeed very similar to your popular television wrestling programs. And you are caught up in the gladiator battle, and they are all drinking and having fun after you leave. Perhaps they are not physically seen together, but they have an understanding between them. They know you still believe in money. They know that some of you believe the wars are about human rights. And they aren't, are they? For you have children starving in your own country. So it is not about that, is it? It is how you use your energy. Do you use it to fight against something, or to plant gardens? You need not worry about 2016. It was a glorious year. Your wonderful performers, and loved ones as well, who left you, did not leave you. It is not sad that they left. It will only be sad if you do not appreciate them. They have returned to their full expression of source. It is nothing to be sad about. They have not gone. They have not risen either. They have not ascended either. They have become one with you. Feel them. Be like them. Let them show you what it is like to be you. And they are playing and laughing and dancing. They are in their glory and love. You need not worry about them. You need not be sad about it, though it is customary and can bring you to some wonderful feelings. You need not mourn for a very long time. It was the best of times and the worst of times. Or perhaps it is always the time of God.